All right, welcome to the Straight Red Card, and today we're going to and Brad, I really thought that Berhalter was scheduled to release the preliminary roster for the Gold Cup today, but he didn't release it.
Didn't he do that for like the Switzerland game or the 40-man roster as well? Like announced that it was going to be announced it was going to be out, and then like USMNT's national Twitter had to come on and say, "Don't worry, the roster will be out in a couple more hours." You know, and
Well, I don't think it's their fault this time because there is no announcement. I went to CONCACAF. I went to US Soccer. There is no scheduled date for the announcement. So I'm going to blame Filippo for this because
did he give a date? Because last I heard, his sources said that it'll be out sometime this week.
Yeah, I know. But he said it was going to be out in like 8 hours ago. So maybe it's coming out right now. Who knows?
What a weird time for it to come out 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I feel like that's made for like an 11 o'clock noon to 2 o'clock area announcement.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. That's a daytime thing. So, I checked here and again all day today. Nothing was out. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to pick Berhalter starting 11, and I'm going to be Berhalter, and you're going to be you. So you're going to have your 11, and me being Gregg, I'm going to be Gregg and have my starting 11.
So it's on par with what normally happens anyways.
Yes. Yeah. I could give you my wish list, and I saw tactical manager's wish list, and I said, dude, you're going to be really disappointed.
I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm probably on par with where he's going to be at. Because personally, I took a look at it and I said, okay, well, if I'm not going to be Berhalter, I might as well swing for the stars of what I think might or what could occur if this were to happen prior to the preseason in Europe. But
he didn't have anybody crazy on there, but
sure.
He was like maybe Aronson. He wanted Richards. I don't think any of those things are happening. Those guys are going back to Europe for preseason training with their teams. Oh. They both are, well, at least Aronson has a new manager that he wants to impress, so he's not coming to the Gold Cup.
See, now that's the big thing to consider. And again, my 11 is going to be pretty moot, especially when the roster comes out. But yeah.
Well, why make a moot roster, Brad?
Well, why not?
Because that's kind of what
it's tons of fun.
Did. It was like I sent him a list of all the players on his wish list that he's not going to be happy aren't going to be there. But well, let's just start, I guess. We'll start with our starting 11.
So
and
I just want to reiterate, I looked at who Berhalter's been calling in from Europe who didn't get playing time or maybe even did playing time. And that's basically who I built my Gold Cup roster around.
So I might slam on some of your... I'll be Gregg and tell you why you're wrong. How's that?
I know why I'm going to be wrong.
But
I suspect about 90% of the roster or lineup that I'm putting here probably won't be there.
But
maybe,
I won't talk
75.
Like that.
Maybe 75. No, I'm going to go with 60. Let's go with 60.
All right. We'll see how bad this turns into a dumpster fire real fast.
We'll agree with a couple, I think.
Oh, I'm sure. Like the first one, Matt Turner goal.
Yes, absolutely.
And just for others out there, as I'm playing Gregg today, the reserves will be Ochoa and Sean Johnson. Okay? So those are the guys that will be on the team.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, left back, who you got?
I got Sam Vines.
So do I.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying George Bello. No.
Could be, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bello's on the roster. But as far as starting, I'm throwing Vines in.
As Gregg, I'm going to tell you he's going to be on the roster. He's going to be the backup left back. But George Bello is still working on his game. George Bello that we dream of still hasn't come to fruition. George Bello needs to come and gain some experience and watch Sam Vines do it.
And he's younger than Vines, and Vines has that couple more years of experience there. So again, raw talent may fall into Bello's wheelhouse, but as a whole, I think Vines is going to be our starter.
And as I have proven over and over again, Gregg, that I like Sam Vines. So there you go. There's your starting left back. Your right back, what's your guess?
I have Reynolds. Yeah, I know. I don't think he's going to be there either. But again, I'm shooting for the stars, Derek. Shooting for the stars.
Even Berhalter came out. I came out a few days ago and said that Reynolds is going back to Roma because he has a new manager, so he needs to be there for preseason. So if you had a number 2 to pick, I'll let you try again. Do you have another backup? No, I'm just going to tell you what the answer. It's Araujo.
Okay, I mean that's who I was going to go with, but I was trying to think of anybody else.
Yeah, he's going to make the team. He's going to start, and Aaron Herrera is going to be his backup.
Thank you. Yeah. I was really just thinking back to the Olympics. Is like, wait, who'd we call in there?
Yeah, who are your starting center backs?
I've got Robinson.
Yes.
And we're gonna debate this, but I have Richards.
Yeah. So again,
we talked about this via text.
Sure.
And the
Richards
way it stands now, who knows? This could all be a negotiating ploy. But it sounds from what Bill's is it pronounced Bill? B-I-L-D?
Bill, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I don't have another butcher there. From what they've said, Bayern's looking to keep him in house. They really highly praise his professional attitude.
Yeah,
but they aren't looking to loan him back out this season. Now, mind you, again, could just be all talk. Hoffenheim's definitely wanting him long term.
Yep.
But Bayern also apparently, again, according to Bill, Bayern has stated that they would release him for the Gold Cup. So I don't know. It just depends on what happens negotiating wise.
So unlike English papers, which are flat out garbage, you can actually read German papers and get some good information. They don't tend to be as they're not so much whores to clicks. Although that's
pieces?
What's that, puff pieces?
Fluff? Yeah.
No, I mean, if you know Germans, they're not very fluffy anyhow. They're not fluffy people. They're my people, but they're not fluffy. And I think Richards is going to have to stay. If he stays, if Bayern keeps him, he's going to want to be there for preseason. If Bayern sells him to Hoffenheim, he needs to get to Hoffenheim. Sure. So I don't think he's going to be there.
I'm just going off what Bayern said. So
yeah, I think you're going to see. You are going to see, says Gregg, Zimmerman.
I was going to say, yeah.
So Zimmerman and Miles Robinson's your CB pair. I know others don't think he will because he's too slow a foot to play, sort of middle high blocks. And since we're not going to be doing that, since we're going to be playing a bunch of dinky teams in the Gold Cup, we're going to play a high block. We're going to press, and a lot of people don't think he's fast enough to do that, but Gregg does. Gregg thinks he does.
I thought it was awfully nice of him to imitate Reem on his hairstyle and facial hair and everything. I mean, you went out there and all of a sudden you're like, wait, hold on. Which one's which?
Yeah, I know.
Identical
until
now.
They did the close-ups.
Yeah.
And, Reem has this sort of languid way of playing, so I can always tell.
Sure.
And he's sort of on the left. So thankfully. But the backups are going to be Pineda and Justin Glad. And so no CCV, because CCV is looking for a new club. So whatever club he gets loaned to next, he's going to need to impress immediately. Or if he signs, same thing. He can't go. Eric Palmer Brown,
I was about to say,
thing.
Yeah.
Looking for the new club. When you're
Is he looking?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, they're looking for a new loan or a permanent deal. And so he is out of loan and back at Man City currently, waiting for his next loan or his sale. And he needs to find a team and stay there. And I don't think, because of that reason, some people will say, oh, well, then wouldn't it be good for him to accept the call up because he can sell himself if he has a really good Gold Cup? I don't think anybody's being sold on this Gold Cup. So that's not happening. So that's why he's staying in Europe, looking for a new club. And as soon as he finds that new club, he needs to get right to preseason with them. So playing the Gold Cup wouldn't allow him to do that. So those are the other options, and that's why they're not there. Brooks, if you don't already know why Brooks isn't going to be there, then you haven't been paying attention. All the guys who played in Nations League. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. Des, Brana, Pulisic, Adams, Brooks, Sibiat, Abatu, Stefan, and Way are definitely not going to be on this team.
Fuck.
So people who keep writing that is not going to happen. They just played the Nations League. Now they're going back to their clubs and they're getting a brief rest, and then they go into preseason with their teams. Then they got to come back for qualifiers, all those guys. They don't have time to play a Gold Cup. So quit asking these kind of players to come back and play Gold Cup. It's not happening. All right. Now with that out of the way, we will move to midfield. Who do you got? Who's your triangle there?
I have Otasawi.
Injured.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. So I'm going to throw Legit in his way.
Okay.
So let's put Legit back in there. De La Torre.
Would love to see it, but I don't know. Depends on how important it is for him to get ready for his club. He's one of the more likely guys to come, but I don't think any of the European guys that play at clubs in first divisions are coming, including him.
And I have Green.
Yep, would love to see Green, but Green is just getting back to the Bundesliga for the first time in 3 or 4 seasons. And
in fairness, though, he has a season or two established with this current club. If anybody could leave for preseason and play some competitive matches and then go back,
I agree, but I think it's the Bundesliga. It's the bump up. It's too important. He'll want to be there as a leader of his team in that preseason, especially with the handful of new players they're going to bring in so they can stay up, because they are going to bring in some new players. They're going to sign some of the players from the teams that just got relegated, the best ones they can from those teams. They're going to go out and look to fill any gap they think they have. So for that reason, with Green being the leader of that team, I think he stays. I don't think he takes the call up. Maybe that's the reason this is taking so long to get these lists out, is because if I'm Green, I don't want to go play Gold Cup, B Team Gold Cup, because I'm playing in the Bundesliga next season and I want to be there for my team during preseason. Did we get all yours?
Yeah, I got my 3.
Okay. So the real answer is Legit, Yule, and Acosta are going to be your starters, and their midfield backups are going to be Roldan and Busio. So there you go. You got it. There might be another midfielder. I don't know who that would be. Maybe I would like to see Tessman, but I'm not Gregg Berhalter, so I only named 2 backup midfielders. That's Roldan and Busio. I'd love to see Busio get some time, but Roldan's playing too well at the beginning of the season. And, I'm Gregg. I'm a big fan of Roldan. I'm bringing him.
Was Busio called in for the January camp? Because Tessman was, and he got minutes.
Busio didn't make the Olympic team. That's one thing that was surprising. But I can't remember. I just have the long list of the 2021 CONCACAF Nations
where Busio was supposed to play.
Yeah.
That's it. That's been his biggest downfall with KC. Where's he playing at? Every season's a bit different.
I think they figured it out maybe a little more this season, but you're right. I've still seen him play 2 different positions for Kansas City this season. So they haven't totally figured it out. How about wingers? Who are your starting wingers?
So I got De La Fuente, which I don't think he's going to happen because he's moving to Ligue 1.
Could be, yeah. That's the rumor, Marseille.
So I definitely don't see that happening. But assuming he stays at Barcelona this season, then I see him as an option.
And every indication is Barcelona's willing to loan or sell. Yeah. So he's going. Yeah. And the rumors are Marseille. It'd be great if he ended up in Marseille, because I think he would get some playing time. But I think because of his uncertain future, whatever club signs him, and that could be a week from now, 2 weeks from now, no. It could be soon, and he can't waste his whole July in the United States playing backup probably to somebody else. Yep. So
of all the pie in the sky players I've mentioned, him moving to a new club definitely would be like a definite no-go as far as an actual call-up especially if he's on his way out. Which, again, as you mentioned, all indications are showing yes.
Yeah. So who's your other midfielder? And I'll give you the real starting.
Mueller.
Oh, you got one of mine. Okay, so yes, Chris Mueller is going to be one of the wingers. I hate to say this, but I think Areola is going to be the other starter.
That's who I would have imagined if I had to pick one. Yeah.
I mean, that's so great.
Well, he was called into the 40. I mean, yes, he's in the plan. He's in the works. He's going to get called up. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, I think he is too. Gregg loves him. So I think that's going to happen. And then my backups are going to be Cade Cowell at wing and Caden Clark. And I hope one of the two of them or both of them get to see some time. And then Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
And the reason is I think Tyler Boyd will want to play. And since Besiktas is trying to get rid of him, they're trying to sell him. They've already told him you're off the club, even if, we'll pay your salary, even if we can't get rid of you or loan you again. You're not on our roster, so leave. So, ouch, that must have hurt for Tyler. I think Tyler's one of those players who's itching to get some playing time and would take a call up. So I put him on the list.
So, and I've only seen a slew of Red Bull games, but I thought Clark played more of a center, like a center mid or a center attacking mid to an extent, more so than I say a winger option. But I guess it'd be the difference, like comparing him to a Reyna to an extent. Well, people want to see Reyna, and that may be why you're listing him up as one of the wingers.
Right. Since we don't really play a CAM, we don't play a 10. We really don't. There's no room for Caden Clark at the CAM. Like there would be no room for Julian Green. Mm-hmm. He would be played as a winger, and I think Caden Clark is going to be played as a winger too. He's played there for New York. He's played some CAM, but they don't really play that position much either, New York. So he's been forced out wide a lot. But he cuts in a lot too. And he's also played some midfield. But anyhow, I think I'm hoping now I'm Gregg, hoping that Gregg makes this decision to bring Caden Clark and Cade Cowell. And I think I'm going to be right this time. Too many people are bitching and moaning about it right now. Not that that's what's going to change his mind, but after a while, that little bug does get in your ear. And you're like, okay, the young kids. I got to bring some young kids onto this roster. And then who's your starting center forward?
Seeing how he's back in MLS, I'm going to go with DK.
DK! That's right. And, the crazy season will start in July, but I think since he's already here, he's back in the U.S., he's back with Orlando, there's like not a 100% degree chance that he's going to be sold or loaned again because of the asking price, which is now at $12 million. That's a lot of money. That's more than they're getting offers for Josh Sargent. We're talking about like what, $4 million for Sargent? $8. Well, they're not going to get it.
Is market value, and where he's going.
Well, it's market value, but the offers I understand have only been up to $4.
Sure.
So that's what I read.
It's that type of a market right now.
I read that in another German magazine. So I think they may be asking for too much, which might get interesting for Josh Sargent down the road.
Well, and I don't know if that's necessarily where Bremen is asking for Sargent. That's his value. And all the U.S. pundits have posted about it, talk about how insert team here, whether it's Gladbach, Frankfurt, or whatever, are going to have to pony up $8 million. So that's just, I'm sure they're just looking at his value and then saying that, yep, that's what he's going to cost.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Bremen's in a weird situation now where that these teams, if they offer, say, $4 million, which is less than where his quote unquote market value is at, they may be inclined to take it because if he does play this season with Bremen, next season he's out on free.
Yes.
And they miss out on any money. So they may take a significantly lower value for him.
And, how serious are Werder Bremen about coming back up, too? Because if they're really serious about that, they're going to need to hold on to a good chunk of their first team players. They're going to have to try at least. But then they've got that financial situation, which is not good for them at all. So, man, I'd hate to be like the general manager, the sporting director at Werder Bremen right now. Oof, just rough going. I mean, you got some horrible decisions to have to make. But you do have teams like Fürth and Bochum coming up to the Bundesliga next season. And the problem with that, them going out and spending $8 million on Josh Sargent, is they won't do it. No. I mean, I don't think either of those teams will have that kind of money to throw around. Maybe Bochum. Now, if Hamburg had been promoted, Hamburg would probably go all in, and they might go for a guy like Josh Sargent. But after their experience with Bobby Wood, maybe not. I don't know. All right. I think the backup to DK is going to be Zardes.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
It's who else would be Ferrara? Doubt it. It's definitely going to be Zardes. And I mean, it's definitely. I know everybody's going to be hoping for Hoppy, but it's not going to be Hoppy.
No, I think Hoppy has got to get ready to play next season for Schalke and nail down a starting role in that hopefully to be promoted side of a really historic club. It's just sad seeing him down there. Same with Werder Bremen, by the way. So, yeah. And some people have said, well, why not Gio Caccini? Same thing. Got to get ready for season. Yeah. He played like shit at the end of last season. So he needs to get back and focus. Who else? They said.
Plus, he's always been paired as more of a winger on our team anyways.
Yeah. Siabatu's going back to Young Boys. Get ready. He needs a break anyhow. Oh, shit. Who's our boy in Italian second division?
Starts with an N.
I just forgot his name. Novakovic.
Novakovic, thank you.
Thank God my brain was breaking there. No, I don't think Novakovic did enough in Serie B. He just didn't. He had such a roller coaster ride of a season. Went through some injuries. I need to see Novakovic be one of the best strikers, period, center forwards in Serie B at this point. And he hasn't been. He just hasn't been. Like I said, very inconsistent. Love him as a player, but no. I think we're done here. Brett, do you have anything else to add?
No, I mean, we got my 11. Let's see, hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 11 were we agreed on. Yes. So my quote unquote 60%, even though I was saying 60% we'll disagree on, actually was flip flopped. We actually agreed on about 60%.
Yeah, you know what? Being inside Berhalter's brain really hurt. It hurt hard. It hurt bad. I'm painful. So glad to be. I am out of it. I'm officially here, but I try to be as Berhalter as possible because I really think people deserve the honest answer here. And the honest answer is going to be a little disappointing for a lot of fans who are not really informed about why certain players aren't going to be on.
Just not paying attention.
They stop paying attention. They pay attention intermittently. They read this article or maybe another article 2 weeks after that. So if you're not keeping up, most of the week, soccer's so fluid right now, it's changing at a lightning speed, even though it's hard to imagine that could happen with a guy like Berhalter. But yeah, you got to keep up to know. Otherwise, you're going to be needlessly disappointed. Why isn't Pulisic at the Gold Cup? Well, because Pulisic's getting ready for Chelsea's preseason, Buster. So that's, hopefully we won't have a whole lot of disappointed people. We're done here. Drink up. Cheers. And we'll see you the next time on the Straight Red Car.